Today we're going to look at graphing inequalities. So if we can think back to our unit on rational numbers, we should remember that when you move to the left on a number line, the numbers get smaller. When you move to the right, the numbers get bigger. So remembering left is smaller, right is bigger. When we are graphing, what we want to do first is we are going to put an open dot or a closed dot on the number line where that number is listed. If it's just less than or just greater than, it's an open dot. If it has that equal to part, it's a closed dot. What I remember is less than or equal to is open because it's kind of like a hole and the number would fall through it because it's not part of the solution. It is closed at the equal to ones because that number is included. We're closing it in. So let's look at first scenario. If the variable is on the left side of the inequality, okay? So in this example here, my variable, I'm going to highlight it. I see right away that's on the left side. When I rewrite, I can just rewrite the inequality as is. Y is less than 2. Remembering that that symbol means less than. And if you need to use your cheat sheet to help you, you can use that, okay? So it means less than. We have the number line marked for us. I'm finding 2. 2 is right here. I'm drawing a circle. There is no equal to part, so I'm leaving that circle open. You need to put it on the number line. You're not putting it above, okay? Then less than means I'm shading to the left. So remember, L, left, this would be the right hand, okay? When our variable's on the left side, our inequality looks kind of like an arrow pointing in the direction we need to shade, which is to the left. I'm just kind of drawing like a little squiggly line so you can easily see it on there. You can draw a straight line if you want. You are not drawing it up and over, so you're not doing something like that, okay? Now let's look at the other scenario, when the variable is on the right side of the inequality. In that case, we do want to rewrite. So what that means is I'm going to flip-flop the variable and the number, but if I flip the variable and the number, I also need to flip the sign. So if it was greater than, I'd flip it to less than. If it was less than, I'd flip it to greater than, and so on. So looking at this example, I highlight my variable. My variable is on the right side of the inequality. So I want it to be on the left to make it easier to graph. So I'm going to flip these. I'm going to move my x to the left. I'm going to move -6 to the right. But since I flipped those, I need to also flip my sign from less than or equal to greater than or equal to. And when we look, if I look at the point was right here and it was next to the 6. My point is still next to the 6. I just kind of rewrote it, but it's still aiming at the same direction. So that inequality symbol means greater than or equal to -6. If you need the reminder, right, left, less, right is greater than, okay? -6, remember negatives work the opposite way. So 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6 is right here. So I'm drawing my circle at -6. There is an equal to part, so I'm going to fill in this circle, okay? And now that my variable's on the left side, that means that this inequality symbol points in the direction I need to shade, which is to the right, which makes sense. Greater than is on the right. Left means less. Greater than means to the right, and that's the greater than symbol. Let's look at a couple more examples. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight my variable. In this case, it's on the right side. I want it on the left side, so I'm going to flip-flop. Put x on the left, 58 on the right. Since I flipped those, I need to flip my sign from greater than or equal to less than or equal to. Again, to double check, my point was next to the x. my point is still next to the X here. So this symbol is less than or equal to. If you need the reminders, left means less, right means greater than. So 58, if I find that, 55, 56, 57, 58 is right here. So I'm drawing my circle at 58, if you want to write it there so you don't forget, okay? And it's equal to, so I'm going to fill that in. Our variable now is on the left side, so the inequality looks like an arrow pointing in the direction that we need to shade, which is to the left. So I'm shading on the left. Left means less. Number 2, highlighting my variable. In this case, it's on the left side, so I'm just going to write it the exact same. It's staying on the left. That symbol means greater than. Now that it's on the left side, my inequality points in the direction I need to shade. So negative 36, remember, negatives work the opposite way. So negative 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, negative 36. Drawing my circle. There's no equal to part, so it's going to stay open like that. And our inequality symbol points in the direction we need to shade, which is to the right. Okay, number 3. We've got our inequality symbol, we've got our variable. It's on the left, so when I'm rewriting it, I'm just writing the same exact thing. X is greater than or equal to 17. Our variable's on the left, we're good. That symbol is greater than or equal to 17. Well, I've got 10, 15, 16, 17. Draw my circle. It has the equal to part, so we're going to shade it in. Our symbol points in the direction we need to shade, which is to the right. Number 4, highlight my variable. This time it's on the right side, so I want to flip it around. Move my A to the left, negative 61 to the right. Since I flipped those, I'm going to flip my sign from less than to greater than. To double check, my point was next to the number. The point is still next to the number. So that symbol now means greater than. A is greater than. Negative 61. Our negatives work the opposite way. So if this is negative 60, negative 61 is right here. There is no equal to part, so I'm leaving it open. Now that my variable's on the left, the symbol points in the direction we need to shade, which is to the right. And if you need to double check, left means less, right means greater. So that's graphing given an inequality. Now we're going to do the reverse. Given a graph, can you write an inequality for it? So when I'm doing this, automatically I want my variable on the left. So I'm writing my x right away. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a little space, and then I'm going to write the number that this falls at. This circle is in between negative 24 and negative 26, so that's at negative 25. So I'm leaving a little space for my inequality symbol, and then I'm writing negative 25. Now, first off, remembering, left is less than. So if you want to write that, left means less. Right means greater than. So it's shaded on the left, which means less than. It is an open circle, so I leave it as just less than. There's no line underneath. Number 6. Again, first thing, I'm just going to write my variable x. Next thing I'm looking at, where does this fall? Well, we've got 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm leaving some space and writing 8. Then reminding myself, left means less. Right means greater than. So this one is shaded to the right, which means it's going to be a greater than symbol. It is a filled in circle, so I need the line underneath. It's greater than or equal to. The other thing you can look at is if you look at our line, the arrow kind of shows the symbol that is greater than. Okay, number 7, drawing my variable first, writing the number. Remember, these are negatives, so be careful. I'm going to start at the 0. It's 0, -1, -2, -3. Left means less, right means greater. This is shaded to the left, so it's less than. There is a shaded in circle, so it has the equal to part. And last one, put my variable on the left. My number, this falls between 45 and 46, so 45.5 or 45.5. Left means less, right means greater, so it's shaded to the right, which is greater than. It is open circle, so it's just greater than.